You catch a scent carried on woodsmoke. A stranger crosses into your camp. Your pulse quickens before a single word is spoken. No name, no conversation. Just instinct. And it already knows exactly who it wants. For 300,000 years, you never met more than 150 people in your entire life. That's the natural size of a human band. The number your brain evolved to track, remember, and judge. Every face you saw again and again. At the fire, at the river, on the hunt. There was no anonymity. No first impression you could walk away from unnoticed. So what made one face stop you mid-step, while 100 others didn't? What was your body reading, long before your mind had a word to name it? In 1989, psychologist David Buss studied 37 cultures, spanning 6 continents, from Nigeria to Japan to Brazil, and found the same instincts running everywhere, untouched by modern media. Women scanned for strength and stability. Men scanned for youth and fertility. The ranking held on nearly every continent tested. This isn't a fluke of one study. Devendra Singh discovered that a waist-to-hip ratio near 7/10 signalled health and fertility to hunter-gatherer eyes, long before anyone had a word for beauty. Randy Thornhill found the same pull toward facial symmetry across isolated populations that had never once made contact with each other. Ancestors on opposite sides of the planet, reading the same signals off the same evolved code, passed down, never taught, never discussed around any fire. If attraction were only a modern invention, these objects shouldn't exist. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, archaeologists found red ochre processing kits dating back 100,000 years. Humans grinding colour, likely for their own skin, long before agriculture. Long before cities. At Skull Cave in Israel, perforated shell beads, over 100,000 years old, show deliberate stringing, the oldest known jewellery on Earth. And carved nearly 25,000 years ago, the Venus of Willendorf exaggerates hips, chest, stomach, fertility signals shaped in stone by hands that had never seen a mirror. Ochre, beads, carved bodies, 3 separate continents, 3 separate eras, the same instinct carved, ground, and strung into permanent form. None of it was decoration for its own sake. It was signalling, sent from one ancient body straight to another, long before language could carry the message instead. You wake before sunrise. Your hands are stained red, ochre rubbed into your skin the night before. You walk to the river with the others. A man crosses your path. You don't calculate. You don't decide. Your eyes go to his shoulders, the width of his stance, the steadiness in how he moves. Something in you registers. Strong, capable, safe to raise children beside. Someone whose hands could build a shelter that lasts through winter. He notices the beads at your neck, the flush in your cheeks, the way you hold his gaze half a second too long. Neither of you says a word. No small talk, no introduction. You circle each other for days after, finding reasons to stand near the same fire, to walk the same stretch of river. Then, one evening, a held look across the flames tells you both everything words would only slow down. Your pulse rises. His does too. This isn't awkward. It isn't performance. It's the oldest signal your species has, running exactly as built, thousands of years before anyone called it a crush. Then, agriculture arrived. Bands merged into villages. Villages swelled into strangers you'd never seen before in your life. Your old instincts weren't built for this. 150 faces you knew by heart became thousands you didn't. Faces with no shared history to read. So new signals emerged. Ornaments, status objects, gestures that could say in an instant what years of familiarity once did. Once you needed a symbol to stand in for closeness, you could never go back to reading a stranger by instinct alone. They didn't need a profile, a resume, or a first date. A glance across a fire told them everything they needed to know. You still carry that same instinct, buried under thousands of years of noise, still running whether you notice it or not. Underneath every second glance, every skipped heartbeat, you're not choosing. You're just remembering how to read the same signal they always could.